So now I'm going to move the microphone over here, and don't forget, Ariel, we're addressing the audience, our friends of the future there. What is your name?
Ariel Almeida Egler Hassinger.
And what is your date of birth?
November the 14th, 1903.
And the place of your birth?
Beavertown.
And of course, your parents and grandparents and your brothers and sisters and so on, we got pretty much from Shem.
Yeah. But
So,
I was born where Rufine Thoman lives now.
okay.
I was born
On
there.
Market Street. Both of you were born on the main drag
Yeah,
of Beavertown.
yeah.
And you're Beavertowners born and bred. And your parents were Beavertowners, weren't they?
Yeah.
And how about your grandparents? Did they
Yeah,
live?
they were born. I don't know where they were born, but they were raised around here.
Raised right in
as far
Beavertown.
as I know.
And who were some of you went to school down here at the Beavertown
Yes, sir.
School?
But I quit, let's see, I quit in 1919, I quit. I didn't finish school.
Mm-hmm. So what grade were you in at that
Well,
time?
it was my last year in school. I don't know.
8th grade then?
I believe 8th or 9th, I don't know what.
Who was your teacher in that?
Well, first I had Ada Thomas, and I had Sue Toole, and I had Patch Walker, and then I had John Snook, and then I had Patch Walker. He followed me all the way around but 1 year.
I had Patch Walker too.
And he was one of the best teachers there was.
Yeah, he really was. How about some of your classmates?
Well, there's only 4 living anymore. And that's Lula Klein, or Lula Hafley Klein,
Mm-hmm.
Anson Bosch, and Harold Hassinger, and me.
Mm-hmm.
We were the only 4 that are living.
And who were some that were deceased?
Well, it's Clark Wetzel, John Coleman, let's see, Paul Freed.
Yeah. Paul Freed was a musician.
Yeah.
John Coleman's grandfather, I think, came in with a tannery. Wasn't John Coleman's grandfather involved with a tannery, or his some relative, some Walker, I think?
Well, I don't know.
That would have been his grandfather, a Walker.
Yeah.
But those are two John was a very important and developed amateur baseball here in Beavertown, and Mr. Freed wrote the Beavertown High School alma mater and pep song, which we have copies of, but we don't have the tunes. We don't know what the tunes are. We just have the words, but they're interesting. And how about at recess? Did you have any activities?
Oh, we went out and played drop the handkerchief, make a circle and have one go around and drop the handkerchief in back of you, then someone was to say where it was, and then that one would pick the handkerchief up and go around again, and then we played baseball at recess. That was about the extent of it.
So,
and skipping rope.
Yeah, that would be a girl's activity.
Yeah.
How about what did you do after you quit school?
Well, I worked for Ada Thomas a couple months, then I started in the silk mill.
How old were you at that?
Well, I would have been 16 in November.
16, and you started working in the silk mill.
Mm-hmm. I started the latter part of March, 1919. But I'd have been 16 in November then.
And, it's not unusual today to have ladies working in factories and
no,
plants.
at that time it was.
At that time, that was still mainly the man was the worker, and the woman was the homemaker.
Yeah.
So how many other ladies were working?
Well, when it opened up, Mabel Heimbach Dries, and I, and Park Musser and Percy Ritke were the first 4 ones that were in there.
In the silk mill?
Yep. And then after that, I don't know how they come in. But
What did you and Mabel do?
there was a fella come here and taught us weaving.
And you were a weaver right off the bat?
And we were on one loom for the longest time. Then finally they gave us 2 looms, but it was about a year or so after. But only one loom a person. And if you had long hair, you had to have them up because they had pulleys across and they were run by belts down on the loom.
This was B. Edmund David now.
Yeah.
Okay, then later on B. Edmund David went bankrupt and they smashed all the looms and emptied the plant of all, and then Plaza went in.
Mm-hmm.
So then you went to work again for Plaza,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
As a weaver?
Oh, yes.
How many looms did you operate then?
Well, we started out, I believe it was 4, and then they put it up to 6, 8, 10, well, you name it.
Then there was a strike, or a series of strikes,
Yeah.
and Plaza moved out.
Yeah.
And then who moved in after a couple of years of being shut down? Greenberg, was it?
Yeah. You know Sam.
I believe there was another one in between there somewhere.
Yes, I believe too, but
I can't figure out. You know, you had to pay $50
yeah, to get a
to
job.
get a job.
Oh, was that a rip-off thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rip-off, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to study that and we'll have to have a special on that sometime.
Well, I don't,
But what I'm trying to get at now is how many looms were operated. How many looms did Greenberg want you to operate?
oh, that I just don't remember anymore.
And then he went out of business, and then the Beavertown Weaving took over, and you continued to work.
Oh, yes,
There.
there I worked. Well, I was a weaver all my life practically, up until after John Hackenberg died. Why, then I was still running looms, and I just got the best of me, and I decided I want it on the floor, what they call smash hand.
What was the highest number of looms that you were responsible to operate at one
Why, I
time?
think it was 12 or 18, I just don't know.
Started with one and had progressed
Oh,
to
yes,
where you added more and more.
Yeah.
What are they running now? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. I know it's an awful lot.
I believe it's 80.
80.
I believe.
One person
Yeah.
operates 80 looms
Yeah.
today.
Mm-hmm. But it ain't the way it had been. That time we had we had raw silk when I started in. It was raw silk.
Pure raw silk.
Yeah, and you just,
Real delicate.
yeah.
Hard to, yeah.
Now they wouldn't know what to do with it. They'd have to run raw silk now.
Mm-hmm. Then later on you went
Then
into
they
what?
went to rayon.
Rayon and then acetate, I guess.
Yes, and at one time we made cloth for parachutes.
During World War II.
Yeah, and I have some of that material. You can't tear it, no how. You can't hardly.
Very light, but it's very strong.
It's awfully strong.
Was that nylon, or was it?
Oh, I don't know no more.
Probably would be. Nylon is pretty much what they use for them parachutes.
Well, anyhow, it was parachute material, and we had made lots of strap material too.